is Sergio, the Venus flytrap. Got him from Walmart originally. He only had a few traps, probably only like 5, so obviously grown very nicely. You can see all the big ones, you can see little baby traps, and then you can see these are little trap buds right there, so it kind of looks like a weird little shape. This sprout right here in the middle, this one right there, that's actually the flower of the trap. So if you continue to let that grow, it'll grow up really big and tall, and then it will bud into a flower. Now, the only bad thing about the flower is that it takes a massive amount of energy in order to make it grow. For Venus flytraps, the name of the game is energy. The traps take a lot of energy to grow. They also take a lot of energy to eat. And so if you have a flower growing, then it's going to basically suck all the energy that would be growing new traps, and your traps will actually start dying in order to keep the flower alive. So if you'd rather have the flower, it is really pretty, but if you'd rather have more traps, which is what most people like, then just do this. Take a pair of scissors, prop myself up here, very delicately, close to the base as you can, cut it. Probably could have cut that a little bit more, but that's okay. And then just kind of take it out of there. So now I've removed the flower, so that will give this trap a lot more energy to continue growing. Cut a little more down there. Smaller scissors work better. Another thing you can see here, I feed my trap worms, mealworms from the pet store, because that's what I have for my reptiles. So as you can kind of see in this trap here, see the difference between these two? This one is bright red, nothing in the middle, but this one is kind of caked with brown a little bit. So that is the exoskeleton of the Venus flytrap, or of the mealworm rather. Venus flytrap does not digest exoskeletons, so when it eats a bug, the shell of the bug stays there. If it's something like this one right there, you can see there's actually a fly in there, and that will just drop out eventually. However, for the worm kind of gets encrusted on there, and then that can kind of mess with some of the little sensors that it uses to catch bugs in the future. So that trap probably will not catch anything else in the future. So just here doing our little monthly maintenance, so picking off any dead parts. There's a dead trap here, just picking that off. Another dead looking one down there, pick that off. Rule of thumb, if you pull and it doesn't come off, sometimes the head will come off but the stalk won't, then it's not dry enough to be pulled off yet. So sometimes just got to be patient, let these dried up stalks hang out there for a while. They will get off on their own, but pulling them off is helpful. And then feeding schedule is going to be once a month. Normally I like to do it once a month and once every 2 weeks, because like I said, energy is the name of the game. My theory is that it will grow better if it eats twice in a month, if it has all of that to draw off of. Also, the mealworms that I feed it are also not necessarily the most nutritious. It's not like a cricket or something. So just find a worm in here. So one left. So one little lucky mealworm here. What you want to do is make sure it goes into a big, healthy trap that's going to be able to close on it quickly. So I will grab a mealworm, and then what I will try to do is set it down right in the middle. Sometimes the trap will close a little fast, so you might have to help it along in there. Another thing I like to do is kind of just bump the side of the trap a little bit. You can do it with your tweezers, you can do it with your finger, do it with a stick. Basically just kind of, the sensors on the inside of the trap know that something is in there when they get triggered, and so if it closes on the worm and the worm stays completely still, after about a day it'll actually let it go. So what I do is periodically throughout the day I'll come back, just kind of bump it a few times so that those sensors know, okay, there's movement in there, something is eating it. And a good way to do it is kind of put your finger on the bottom of the trap, just kind of move it up and down, side to side. Just kind of let it know that, yep, something is in there. And if you had something bigger, like a cricket or something, it would struggle, it would move a lot more. Make sure it closes all the way. You can see it's almost completely sealed. There's still a little bit of gap there. So I'll just keep moving that around. But once it does completely seal, there will be no gaps there. And then you'll actually start to see the body of the trap press on whatever's in there. You'll be able to see the outline of the bug that's in there when it presses together.